Welcome to another orchestration hack video, and since outside the wind's howling, I thought it would be a good time to do one on woodwinds. For this one, I want to dive into how I layered a couple of different woodwind articulations to make the most of the melody I was trying to program in this sense. So for this one, I have another piece from my album, which is called Desert Dictator. I haven't uploaded it yet to YouTube because I'm making a music video of it that should be out somewhere in March. And I want to look at this ney part over here in particular. Now, a ney is a very nice instrument and I have one. So this is a ney. However, I can't play it yet because it's very hard and I still have to put some time into it, but that's why we have sample libraries. So here I have EastWest Ra, ethnic library of EastWest with its ney, which is a very nice one. And I just want to play the full mix of the part I'm diving into, and then we can get a little bit more into the details. So that's a melody, and I'm mostly concerned about these two F sharps. For this one I used an articulation that has a very natural ending because it is a sus vibrato fall. So in the end of the note it falls a little bit in pitch and therefore it has a very natural ending, and I like this on these long notes. However, because they are so short after each other, they trigger the same sample of the same notes twice in quite a short time. And if you would play it like that, you would really hear that. So I want to put a little bit of variation in this. So the first thing I did was to play this one on the G. So it triggers a different sample. And then I rendered that to audio and I layered it with the original one. So here I have the audio. So there's already a pitch shift on here. So I pitch it down from G back to F sharp. So it triggers a different sample. The intonation and the expression on this fault note is slightly different while it's still in F sharp. So therefore I already have a difference compared to the first F sharp. And to add a little bit of more variation to it, I chose to layer it with another articulation in the regular one. So the start of the note is different, therefore you already conceive a difference in the note. And the ending of it is different as well because I triggered a different sample that has been recorded, and therefore it's not exactly the same one as we heard earlier. So if you play those two together. So now in the program, the instrument in A, it's kind of an accent on the start, and I made sure that I put the volume down and that it would end before the fall of the recorded note comes in. And that's how I chose to make sure that this note isn't exactly the same one as this one, because you really hear that's the same one in this short space. So another example I want to show real quick is how you can use different sample libraries for the same instruments to create a specific sound you want. Because here this is for a film project I did when I was in film school, and I have a bassoon here and I have two instruments. The first one is Woodwind Ensemble Short from ProjectSam Symphobia. And I really like the sound of this bassoon here for the film I was working on. However, if you get to middle C, this is where you'll notice that there is an oboe added because it's not a bassoon patch, it's a woodwind ensemble patch. And this gets me in a little bit of trouble later on, because in here I have the melody going to a D flat. And then you hear that the sound is changing from the bassoon to the oboe, and I want it to be just a bassoon. So what I did here is I loaded another bassoon, which I have used way too many times in my early days, which is EastWest Symphonic Orchestra, the bassoon. This is quite an old project, so some old sample libraries as well. But the thing is, here it's just a bassoon, so it can play the D flat as just the bassoon. Now, to make sure that I have just bassoon, I start this melody off with only the woodwind ensemble. Then when we get to the high part, I start doubling it very softly with the east-west bassoon, which you see here. And then from this part is the part where it gets tricky. So we're now in the east-west bassoon, and you see these ones are quite soft, but then the third one, the D flat, is quite a bit louder than all the others. And in the woodwind ensemble, I made sure I muted that one. So I slowly move from the sound of the ensemble bassoon I layer it with the solo one, so the sounds start to mix a bit. And then for this one note, I remove one and keep the other. So I move between sounds a bit by layering them and playing them solo or not. And then all together, it sounds like this. So this way I can mask that this note is not on the bassoon sound I like and still keep the melody going through without having this weird oboe tone interfere. So that was the orchestration hack for this time. I hope you like it. If you did, please show again and subscribe if you haven't and if you want to see more of these videos. And from my space to yours, have a great day.